welcome to Straight Conversation with Jesse. I'm here to talk about the Cal Rittenhouse case. As we know, it went to the jury, and now the jury will deliberate. I'm actually surprised that the case, that it was short trial. It was like, I don't know, a week and a half or something. I was expecting like almost a month, but it was a pretty short trial, straight to the point. And there's a lot of back and forth about how the trial played out. We have, we have a judge who appears to be biased from some people's standpoint. I don't know how biased he is compared to how he just wanted the defense to favor, or he just wanted the trial to favor the defense, maybe because he's biased. But it should be, the trial should favor the defense in the way our country is set up in a legal system. The problem is that it doesn't end up being equal to everyone. Justice is not applied fairly across the board. It usually depends on how much your lawyer costs as to what type of defense you get in this country. But, I don't think it's really going to come down to the judge or the judge actions. I don't think it's really going to come down to much of what the defense did or anything like that. I think it's basically, or what the prosecution did. I think the prosecution did a good job, but I think it's basically going to come down to how do you feel about a 17-year-old coming across the border into your city carrying an AR-15 and end up killing two people and wounding another. That's pretty much what it's going to come down to. And I think as much as we try to say juries, should go in and they shouldn't be biased and things like that, we know that the juries come in biased because you can't, unless you live in a rock in this country, there's no way you can avoid media coverage of high-profile cases. There's just no way you don't live in Kenosha and know about the Cal Rittenhouse case or situation and already probably developed your opinion on what you think should happen. So to think that we're bringing in an impartial jury is just ridiculous and asinine. But that's the way our legal system is set up. I do think he will be found guilty of a lesser charge. That's surprising, but I think the prosecutor did a good enough job of he shouldn't have been there. He just shouldn't have been there. And by the mere fact of him coming in with an AR-15 should rule out self-defense. You don't show up to like a fight with a gun and then claim self-defense. He came there to, probably use his gun. And all this talk about him being a medic or him there to help people, he didn't help anybody. He didn't help anybody and ended up killing two and hurting one. And someone said him being there is not what he's on trial for. Actually, kind of is, because remember, they lowered the judge allowed lesser charges to be found in this case, which means it's more than just the self-defense thing now, because now you can do reckless endangerment, and the mere fact you show up with an AR-15 and use it can show reckless endangerment. That's why the judge allowed lesser charges to be filed. People think that favors the defense because it's like, the prosecutor didn't feel they could prove their case. I'm thinking it favors the prosecution because now people consider lesser charges, which still can carry healthy penalties. So I'm really eager and wanting to see how this plays out. It's going to be interesting. Also can see the defense side and say that the prosecution didn't prove his case beyond a reasonable doubt. If that's the way it plays out, I can accept that too, because so much the prosecution was really didn't seem like it had a good handle on the witnesses, and one of the witnesses was like, I pointed a gun at Cal, and I don't know if the prosecution was expecting that, but the thing is that this trial, I think personally, can go either way, and I wouldn't be surprised at whatever way it went. Honestly, I still think my personal opinion is that he will be charged with some lesser charges, and that right there would sink the sails of a lot of vigilante pro gun people that really is holding on to this so they can keep their vigilante self-defense causes going. But anyway, that's my thoughts on Cal Rittenhouse. I think he will be found guilty in some sense, and I look forward to seeing how this trial plays out because it'll have a lot of implications going down the road further. And thanks for listening to the Straight Talk, and I'm out.